Greetings. Welcome to In Conversation with Trevor, brought to you by Heart and Soul Broadcasting Services. I go beyond the headlines and beyond the sensational. Today I'm in conversation with Henry Bindu, founder and chief executive officer of Real Men Talk and Extreme Fitness Total Body Gym. If you enjoy this conversation, remember to press subscribe, like, and share. Let's get down to some work. Henry Bindu, welcome to In Conversation with Trevor.
Thank you, Trevor. I'm humbled.
Henry, you invited me to come and talk at your event, Real Men Talk. And I was touched by the fact that there's somebody in our society who cares about fathers and sons getting together and talking. Because that father and son relationship to me is the basis upon which societies are formed.
True.
It's one of the key foundational relationships, I think. So thank you so much for that work that you are doing.
Thank you, Trevor. And it was really nice of you to come and be part of that show.
Wonderful.
Yeah, when you came and spoke, people were just amazed. I even say to you,
Yes, you did.
Yeah, I knew Trevor from the headlines and everything else. But when you shared about Trevor, that was amazing.
Oh,
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Henry. So you the founder and chief executive officer of Real Men Talk. And I said to myself, this is a very unusual space. What made you start Real Men Talk?
You know, Trevor, that was, actually, it's something which just came in me, to be honest. Sitting, talking to my wife. And I've always been passionate about helping people, just trying to make a change in life, hence the other things I do. But I thought we are lacking as a society, especially here in Zimbabwe. We are focusing on the girl child, which is good. Don't get me wrong. We need to do that. But as we focus on the girl child, what are we doing about the boy child? At the end of the day, I think we're having a half-baked cake. Once we have that cultured girl child who is confident in everything, and then she is going to need to marry even the boy child who's half-baked. So what are we doing as fathers?
Had you seen anything in particular, Henry, that made you say, what's happening to the boy child?
True. Actually, it started with the men. We had incidences where men were committing a lot of suicides and started looking into that. What's going on with men?
Right.
Yeah. What's happening with us? So that's when I found out that as men, if we are not doing something about it as men, then what are we teaching the boy child?
Right.
Because it's just going to escalate.
Right.
Yeah.
And tell me, when you have these meetings, what issues is the boy child dealing with?
We've got a lot of issues.
What are those issues? Let's unpack them.
Drug abuse.
Right.
Yeah. The issue of, I think, confidence. Yeah. You know, Trevor, as I was doing this, just to sidetrack a bit, I had an interview on radio. And then one gentleman called me after the interview and said to me, I'm so happy that you were speaking about this on radio. My son has been coming to me and saying, Dad, I think I need some counseling. And they've been telling this boy that, you know, you are a man, you don't need counseling. Just man up and go with it. So you see, there is a problem and we are lacking a lot as men. We are not listening to the boy child. We're not taking time to groom the boy child. They have as much issues as we do have as grown-up men. And I think actually us men, we have a whole lot more of it.
Shall we go there? Shall we go there? Because your organization is called Real Men Talk. And the father and son sessions, the conference that you invited to me last year, is part of it. What are the issues that we men are dealing with? Issues that we are unable to share, issues where we need mentoring and counseling?
Our biggest challenge, or the biggest thing we're dealing with as men, is our ego. So through that, we are failing to appreciate and realize that we've got problems as men that we need to be working on. So we are failing to be our own brother's keepers. We are failing to help. As a man, you're not supposed to be feared, even when it comes to the household. There is this thing about black men being feared, that you are the father. The father is here and everyone else, they go down. But as a man, you're supposed to be compassionate. You're supposed to be loving. You're supposed to be grooming. So even as we talk about the girl child or women empowerment, we shouldn't be threatened by all that. We're supposed to be supporting and encouraging. So once we check our ego at the door and understand that you're supposed to talk, let's make time to talk as men. Let's come together and share. I understand it's challenging to do that as a man. One, I'm coming to Trevor. Trevor, these are my issues. Trevor is going to be saying, this big guy, he goes to the gym.
And yet he's dealing with these issues.
And he's dealing with these issues. So it can even be gender-based violence. I could be going through that as a man. Yeah. But for me to come and talk to someone about it, first I think, what are they going to say about me? I'm not man enough and things like that. So I think men are dealing with a whole lot of things, and they're just failing. They don't have platforms where they can go and share comfortably and just no holds barred. We're not judging each other. We need to help each other. If you fall, this is how you get up.
Are these safe spaces? Because I think that's the thing, isn't it?
True.
Are you going to come to me for mentorship and I'm going to go around drinking my coffee and telling people that Henry was with me and this is what he said? Am I going to come to you and say, Henry, I'm battling with these issues? Are these safe spaces? How do we make these spaces safe so that I feel comfortable I should come and share with you?
We need to just get to a place where it's actually important to have safe spaces. But I think if we become our own brother's keepers and have a platform where we're saying, let's just share as men, I think that's as safe as it can get, Trevor. As Real Men Talk, yes, we will, or not even we will, but as Real Men Talk, what we talk about, it stays there.
It stays there.
It stays there.
Yeah.
So as they say, what happens in Vegas stays in
Vegas.
Yes, that's exactly the same thing.
So tell me, you've had a number of Real Men Talk get-togethers. Without naming names, what issues apart from gender-based violence and ego, what issues do you think people come across which people at home might be able to identify with?
Trevor, it's a whole lot of things.
Yeah.
Financial issues.
Right.
It can be very simple things. Financial issues. We've got situations where, how do I deal with my teenager who's being rebellious? We also have not only men, but we've got single parents, women who are raising up boys, as much as men who are raising up girls.
Yeah.
How do we deal with situations like that?
Right.
We are failing to have or to make time and organizations that deal in that area.
Yeah, which is why I congratulate you, because this is a very important thing. I mean, so you invited me to talk and you had very impressive speakers for the Father and Sons Conference, and it was very well attended. I mean, that touched my heart to see father and sons coming to a conference and sitting together and sharing in front of everybody else. What were the main takeaways from that conference, for instance?
The main takeaways were the importance of communication. And it has to be two-way communication. You hearing from your son, and your son is hearing from the dad, and being real. We need to be real about things. We are spending too much time and too much effort I think, congratulating things which don't make sense, if I can put it in that sense.
Yeah.
We need to have real heroes. You know, this is what I did to get to this point. If you work hard, this is the result. So we need to be going into schools.
Our conversations, from what you're saying, tend to be superficial.
True.
Surface. And the spaces that you're creating for me is, can we go deeper and find out the things that hurt us,
True.
the things that stand in our way, so that we manifest our fullness and our authentic selves. Is that the sense then?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes. That's exactly what we need to do. I'll just divert a little bit.
Yeah.
I've got extreme fitness. A gym.
Right. We'll get there. Yeah. Let's just go there.
Yeah. Extreme fitness is now a commercial gym. But Trevor, if I tell you, through hard work, how I started extreme fitness, I started doing personal training. And from personal training, every Friday, I would get on the bus, go to SA, buy some dumbbells or weights, bring them back myself. So I'll go on the bus on a Friday, get to SA on a Saturday, buy my things, get on the bus on Saturday night, back in Zim Sunday. Monday, we now have new dumbbells. I'll tell you, every equipment in the gym, that's how I brought it.
Wow.
That's how I built it.
And I've been to your gym, and it's a very impressive gym.
Thank you.
So it's taken you a long time.
It's taken me a long time.
You actually talk about that you did this with a lot of financial challenges. Talk to us about those challenges. Were you working, or how did you do it?
What happened, Trevor, is after high school, I left Zim and I went to the States. So did the States, did school and all that and whatnot.
What did you study in the
information
US?
systems?
Information systems, yeah.
And not even a fan of it. I did information systems because we had a cousin who was doing well in information systems. And I was told, you need to do this because this is the thing. But I'm not even a fan of it. Look at me. I'm doing health and fitness, which is totally opposite. So after all that, and then
How long were you in the US?
I was in the US for 10 years, 10, 11 years. And then I went to Canada. I went to England first, and then I went to Canada. And then my dad passed away. So this was in 2007. Coming from a family of 4 girls, 1 boy, made a decision. You know what? I have to go home. Mom is going to be by herself. So I left. Everything was all good. And I left Canada to come to Zim. That's the time now when things were now crazy, 2008. And if you had not been in Zim for that time,
difficult.
Whatever you had to spin your money quick. So what happened? And
money burning and all that stuff.
Yeah, losing and all that. So then I said, you know what? I'm passionate about health and fitness. Let me get into this. That's then how I started extreme fitness, but with nothing at all. Just a few people who supported.
Tell me, so you were working out when you were in Canada. You had a discipline of going to the gym every morning. Talk to us about that.
I've been doing gym since I was, I think, 14 years. And now I'm 51. My routine is almost the same.
Talk to us through that routine. What's the routine like?
I train 5 times a week, 1 hour to about 1 hour, 30 minutes. That's weights. And then after that, it's more of your nutritional side. You have to be eating proper. You have to be eating high protein. Your carbs, you have to watch your carbs and things like that. So for years, that's how my routine has been in terms of fitness. And I've also been in that whole journey of training myself. I've been a personal trainer. So I've trained quite a number of people.
Is this in Canada or even in Canada, US and the UK?
In Zim mostly.
Okay.
Yeah, when I was outside, it was mostly me training and then also gaining the education of personal training. But in Zim, it has been personal training. Yeah.
Walk us through the journey of becoming, you are a certified
personal trainer.
Personal trainer.
That's right.
Walk us through, where do you qualify and so forth?
I did this in SA. And I was here. actually. Yeah, in Zim. Just online course.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And then I got my certification.
Right.
From a very young age, I was just passionate about health and fitness. As I said, I started training
at 14.
at the age of 14.
Mm.
So from that time, we used to have, my parents, they got me a bit of weights, but we started with, the concrete things and all that.
Yeah.
So then they got me the weights. And then the guys from the neighborhood would come to my place to train. And then the idea of one day I'm going to have a gym, that's when it started, from that age.
That's fascinating, isn't it? we don't realize that. We don't realize the moment when the things that are going to be important to us come into our lives, isn't it?
It's, you have to dream it. And it becomes, it will manifest.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, Trevor, I say to myself, I'm going to be on Trevor's show. Before I even invited you. I'll be honest.
Wow.
Yeah. But you came, we never spoke about this.
No, we never.
Yeah. And even when you invited me, I was actually shocked. Like, is this true? Is this happening? But I dreamt of it.
You wanted
I wanted it. Yeah. So if you dream of it, if you work towards it, even the young guys, that's what we need to be telling them. Don't be afraid to dream, and dream big. Through God,
things will happen.
Yeah. So that's me, to be very honest.
So you start with the concrete and the steel, and then
I got a bit of weight, and the guys were coming, and I was doing it.
Were you charging your friends, or they were just coming for fun?
They were just coming for fun.
Yeah. And then
that time you won't be thinking of the charging. You'll be just thinking, we're having fun. Yeah, we're having fun. Then the guys come in.
Yeah.
So that's when I did the school and then went to the States and coming back. And then in Zim, I said, you know what? Let's do this. This has been a dream. I'm passionate about this. And I did it. Training people from a point where you get people coming in and they'll tell you that, you know what? I need to train. But personal training is expensive. I don't have the funds. That's okay. Let's do it. Yeah. Because we just want to get you to where you want to be. And I tell you, from doing that, it opened up a whole lot of doors for me.
Wow. Shall I stop you there? We're going to take a break now. Please don't go away. Join us on the other side when we hear what doors these opportunities opened for Henry. So see you on the other side.
We look too much at our government and think that it should be doing everything. I think as a people, as men, there's a lot we can do to change the nation.
My name is Craig. I'm the founder of the Mr. Rocca brand, Mr. Rocca London. We're an internationally accredited clothing brand which specializes in styling and tailoring. We style individuals and corporates. We also make suits, we make shirts, we make ties. The reason why I decided to style Trevor Ncube is because his brand, in conversation with Trevor, is also an international brand that reaches out to Zimbabweans, Africans, and the world at large. So us being together as two international brands complemented each other. He has a very diverse audience. He's got people that watch him from all over the world. He produces shows every week. He must be having a hectic schedule. So where I come in is I can help him curate, bring together clothes and styling so that he does not have to think about it every week when he's shooting something. So I partnered with him so that every week he has to be the best version of himself.
Thank you very much.
You don't have to be a celebrity to be dressed. The same way that you get expert advice from a doctor, from a lawyer, from your accountant, from your dentist, is the same way that you need expert advice from a stylist like myself. I'm sure you watch In Conversation with Trevor. I'm sure you like what you see. I've dressed bank CEOs like Lance. I've dressed politicians. I've dressed executives, and I've dressed ordinary people in general. And you have seen the results. The same way can happen to you. Thank you.
Welcome back to our conversation with Henry Bindu, the founder and CEO of Real Men Talk and Extreme Fitness Total Body Gym. So you're saying being a personal trainer opened doors for you. Can you let us into those doors?
When you train people, it's almost like you're a doctor. You create a relationship where you start talking about things, especially your clients. They start unpacking, and then you get to know, oh, I'm training probably Trevor. Trevor, this is what Trevor does. And they also see what you're passionate about. So mostly the doors which were open for me, it was in the health and fitness industry. This is what you need. We're going to support you. We're going to give you a small loan, and then, you can get this. So it's important to have those structures in place, just to help you in your journey. And mine, it was God, Trevor.
Oh,
It was God. I've always thought growing up that I'm going to do something important. You always think you're going to do something important.
that's a good space to be in, isn't it? Because that's
It's very
hope.
good. Oh, yes.
That keeps you getting up every morning.
That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I knew from even a young age that I was going to get to a place where I would be influential to others, at least be there to assist. So as I said, when I said it's all God, doors, they just open. Mm-hmm. You'll be amazed that you're just thinking, I need to be doing this. Before you know it, someone comes to you, oh, there's space in the Chase. And you said you wanted space to do your gym. Do you want space? And then I went to the space. And guess what the space was?
Yeah.
It was a garage. Oh, yeah.
Wow.
And I put a few of my equipment in the garage and did what I did. As I was training, somebody said to me, I've got a house along 2nd Street, 2nd Street Extension. The tenant is giving me problems. Do you want the house?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I want the house. And I moved from the Chase, 2nd Street Extension. That was the journey with Extreme Fitness.
Yeah.
So now I'm at a house. I'm doing what I'm doing. And then I've got a gentleman who said to me, I was training him again.
Mm-hmm.
I hear this space at Harare Sports Club. Do you want Harare Sports Club? I said, yeah. So I went to Harare Sports Club, double story. Wow. This is a guy who's coming from a garage. So got there, fine. They told me what the rental was. At that time, it was 4,000. We had just dollarized 4,000 USD a month. And did I have 4,000? But I said I wanted it. Faith. So they said, you know what? You can take downstairs and then probably rent upstairs. Or we can rent upstairs and I said, no. I want the whole thing. So I took the whole thing for 4,000. Wow. But I didn't have the money. That is the honest truth.
Yeah.
I knew that through my training, I would accumulate some sort of money towards the rentals and things like that. So I got the space and I had very little weights when I started. I remember a guy comes to me because I put, flyers, gym opened, Harare Sports Club, whatnot. This guy comes to me. We had few weights just in the corner, about dumbbells, a few dumbbells. He says, my guy, you need to be serious. When you say gym open, I thought it was, Yeah. That's what he said to me. But I knew where I was going.
Yeah.
So fast forward, just a few months, I'm struggling to pay the rentals. The real estate the real estate guy who was managing the property, comes to me and he says, you know what? We've decided to lower the rentals. And the rentals, they were slashed. Just like that. I didn't even solicit for it. As I said, God
watches over you.
That's right.
But it's got to be new, isn't it, for it to be manifested?
Exactly. Yeah.
You've got to have the desire. You've got to have the hunger.
You need the hunger, and you need to remain faithful. Just this is what I want. No matter what cost, I'm going to do it. Yeah. So then fast forward, we've got Extreme Fitness TBG. I've been at Harare Sports Club for, it should be 12 years now.
Wow. That long?
Yeah.
So you've got a big clientele base, people support you, and the people that you train.
We've got doctors. Mostly the majority of our clients and the ones we give personal training to, we've got doctors, we've got lawyers, and then just the average, people. Yeah.
And so you've got a team that's helping you, staff team. Yeah.
I've got a team. I've got 4 personal trainers.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's actually, it's now a full commercial gym. We open from 5 in the morning. We close at 8 p.m. And
5 times a week or 7 days a week?
Monday to Monday. The only thing which is still slowing us back is just, in Zimbabwe, we need to get this desire or concept that we need to be working late. We're not supposed to be closing doors.
Yeah,
that's right.
Because a gym in certain places is 24/7.
Exactly.
You go in when you want to.
That's it.
Yeah.
So that's what we need to get to.
Yeah.
We've got some people, especially those men we're talking about. You're at home, you're thinking, hey, too much pressures. What do I need to do?
And you go and work out.
And then you come and work out.
Yeah. You talk about God a lot. Talk to me about your journey with God, where it started and where you are now.
I grew up in a Christian family.
Okay.
Yeah. My both late parents were very faithful Christians, Anglican. And every Sunday we just had to go to church. That's just how it was.
Yeah.
So that's how I grew up. And then from there, I went with it. A point where not being so much of a devoted Christian, a gung-ho Christian, but what I know is there is God. And through him, anything and everything is possible. Yeah. So growing up from Anglican.
Where were you born?
In Mfakose.
Which schools did you go to?
I partly went to Gwinyiro School. My dad was a teacher. My mom was a teacher at Gwinyiro School. So partly went to Gwinyiro School. Then they moved. And I went to Prospect for my primary school. From Prospect, went to Prince Edward. Prince Edward groomed us. If there's one thing which I really wish for even now is those times, those years. The headmaster, Barnes.
Yeah, I hear about Mr. Barnes.
Mr. Barnes. Yeah. I'm telling you, that guy, he did amazing work with us. Where boys are just supposed to be respectful. When you get on the bus, those days, there were buses, not the combis. When you get on the bus, an elderly person comes, you have to stand up. We were taught that. Respect. When you're wearing a hat, take off your hat. Good morning, good afternoon. That we were taught. And that foundation, I'm telling you, it groomed us to a point to this very day.
But that's gone. We don't see that respect.
That's it. That's what we're trying to do with Real Men Talk.
Yeah.
Let's get into the schools. Let's talk to the boy child and even the girl child, because it has to be a wholesome thing. We look too much at our government and think that it should be doing everything. I think as a people, as men, there's a lot we can do to change the nation. When we now have these men, you see, with Real Men Talk, what we're trying to do is we're trying to just enhance the Zimbabwean society through molding strong, confident, God-fearing men Yeah, for them to be, brothers keepers, a better husband, a better father. Once we have that, then a lot can happen.
Absolutely.
So how many of us, I've always asked the question, that how many of us have gone back to the schools that you went to and even taken a pen? Don't even take the box of pens, just one pen. But we're thinking probably the government needs to do that. It's not about the government doing that.
It's about us.
It's about us.
Yeah. Yeah.
You are in your space, your road, portals. And I'm driving an S600, but get on the portals. Come on. You know what?
But what if I push back and say, but I'm paying rates.
Yeah.
I'm paying taxes.
True.
Should I be fixing my road again?
You know what? That's a very good point. You are paying all that. But right now, what we're talking about is be accountable.
I hear you.
Just be accountable.
I hear you.
We have to be at a space where you say no. You have to say this is right, this is wrong. A wrong is a wrong, a right is a right.
Yeah.
So as a man, once we start standing up for those things will be different. That's when we go back to the paying rates and whatnot. You are paying rates. You are paying taxes. But what are we doing about it? You just pay and you keep quiet. Not even saying, we're not even talking politics.
No.
Yeah, nothing political. But if I'm paying that, I should be getting a service.
Absolutely.
So are we standing up as men and saying, this is not proper? So we go back to the boy child.
Absolutely.
What are we teaching the boy child?
Are we teaching the boy child to be respectful of the girl child? What's the intersection there? Well,
it's something we're supposed to be doing. Teaching them to be respectful, not only to the girl child, but themselves. You need to have respect for yourself.
Start with you.
It starts with you. When you value yourself to a certain point, then things start changing.
When you love yourself.
True.
Only when you love yourself can you love others.
That's right. Just dressing up. A simple thing is dressing up. Make sure that you just look smart.
Good.
You're looking good. You're looking presentable. Now we've got the pants which are hanging down in bottom. But how are we going to operate, or even me giving you a job when it's like that?
Now you need to put me in my right place here, because I see that, Henry, pants are hanging and the hair and all that stuff, and I say to myself, maybe I'm old-fashioned. Maybe this is what pants ought to be. Maybe mine ought to be hanging too. Should we be firm on those kind of issues?
We need to be firm.
Right.
When we grew up, or when I grew up, we used to have this thing whereby if you're, especially the mothers, my mom, would just give you the eye. You know that, this is wrong. As parents now, we don't do it. Yeah, it's all right. Let them do that. It's almost like we feel it. Now we think that money. Let me give them, the money. Let me give them the toys and whatnot. They, some people will not be even happy with what I'm about to say. Mm-hmm. But right now, you've got a child. I know you've got things and you're able to give. You've got a child who is doing probably Form 3 and going to school with the latest Mac. The teacher doesn't have a latest Mac. What are we teaching the kids?
The parents are going to push back and say, "Hey, I can afford.
Yeah,
let my child.
You
drive.
Can afford, but when you go, you are going to go. Have you taught that child how to survive?"
So this is a real story. A friend in Dainfen in South Africa has an accident with a young man driving, very expensive car. And the young man gets out and said, "Oh, this is nothing. This is small. My dad is going to take care of it." And the person says, "But," he says, "No, you call my father. You call my father." And calls the father, and the father says, "Oh, no problem. We're going to deal with that." What kind of children are we raising?
Exactly. That's when we need to go back to the drawing
Yeah.
board. We need to change the ways. It's okay to provide for your children, for your family, but also take time to educate them.
Yeah. So we were raised where parents, people used to say it takes a village to raise somebody.
Yes.
And when I met an adult, it's good as I've met my mother, I've met my father.
That's right.
But that's not the case anymore.
For the people whom we say are our heroes, the people whom we say these are the exemplary people, are we doing enough to just give back to these young guys, going back to the schools, just availing ourselves and talking to the boy on, you don't need to do this type of degree. I did information systems.
That's what people need.
But that wasn't my passion. Sometimes we push our agendas on our kids, and we don't even take the time to ask or to find out, is this what the child needs? It has to be done within reason.
Absolutely. Tell me, as extreme fitness, total body gym, you used to do the Biggest Loser and the Strongest Man. Are those competitions still going on?
The competitions, they are still going on.
Okay.
Yeah, it's been a few years since we've done. COVID kind of changed things around.
Right.
Yeah. The Biggest Loser and Strongest Man, it was more of us trying to get people to be aware of health and fitness. Yeah. I think our priorities are just messed up. It's most of Zimbabweans, most of us. Yeah. I don't mind going out, spending money, buying whiskey, which is $100, and I'll do it every weekend. It's okay to do that. I'm not saying it's not.
But you're not taking care of your body.
But you're not taking care of your body. The same person will go, my car is only serviced at Toyota, and I take it to this bathing place or washing place. But what about your body?
That's powerful.
Take care of yourself.
Your body.
It's important.
Yeah.
Once you take care of yourself, we don't understand the power. When you're taking care of yourself, it's good for your family.
Absolutely.
Your health, it just cascades down.
Yeah.
Happy family. You are there longer for your family.
Absolutely.
So we need to do that as Zimbabweans.
And when you want to do something, or rather, let me put it the reverse. Say, when you want to avoid doing something, you always find reasons why.
There's always reason.
I don't have the time. I don't have the money.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the ladies will go for the new hairstyles.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. But gym,
no,
you won't get them. Same as the guys.
So one thing that I found interesting with you is that you started swimming at 50. I'll tell you what. For me, that's a very important thing for me, because I also started swimming lessons when I was 51.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
51. And I'll tell you what the story is. At 51, earlier than that, we went on holiday. And I saw, when we came back, my son was playing the video of us being on the beach. And I turned around to the family and said, "Who is that guy walking into the ocean?" And they said, "That is you." I said, "You can't be telling the truth. Do I look like that?" They said, "That's how you look." From then on, I decided, no, I need to do something about my weight and stuff. But also, when we went on holiday, I was not able to swim with my daughter. She'll be pulling me, but I'll be scared of getting into the water.
It.
So at 51, 52, I started doing lessons. Now I can swim.
It's
What was your story?
My wife.
Mm-hmm.
Tombi. She came and she said, "You know what? I'm going to start some swimming lessons." And I just gave her, that look. Like, okay, yeah, go for it. And sure enough, she started. But then I said to myself one day, I said, "You know what? This is a good thing. I myself, I'm afraid of water. And she is starting a new thing. Why don't I join her just to support her?" So that's how it kind of started. For me, I also found a place where we could have time with each other, just being relaxed and just having fun. Some things which we don't really do, just as couples.
Quality time.
Yeah, quality time. We don't look for quality time. So that's how it started.
So can you swim now?
I'm still at it. You know what? My challenging thing at the moment is the breathing part. Mm-hmm. I can now breathe in. Oh, when I went in, I couldn't even lift.
You were scared?
I was scared. So now I can proudly say I can do
whatever.
At least 6-8 times.
That's good.
And I'll be breathing out.
That's good.
But the moment when you try to breathe in, that's the ship sinks. So my wife now says, now we don't know who was more interested in swimming because at the rate you're going, but it's a beautiful thing.
I'll keep it. It's a good thing. It's a healthy way of it's a fun way of keeping healthy.
Yeah.
No, I can swim now. I mean, I do very well. Upside down, whatever. I'm good at that now. Yeah.
So I'm going to be coming.
Let's see if Robert and Prince can do it. Can you swim, Prince? Can you just raise your hands? Can you swim? Oh no, they're not telling the truth. So well done for that. And is it expensive to eat well? Is it expensive to eat healthy?
Not really.
Yeah.
The natural things, where we're talking of our sweet potatoes, your groundnuts, your even maqimbis, I'll go to that, that extent. Your maqimbis, they have high protein and things like that. There is this thing where people think that when you're training, you're supposed to be eating the expensive, the chicken breast, the tuna and whatnot, which is not even So just your natural, simple things are the best to eat. Yeah.
Wonderful. And I find that, I don't know I read this book. One thing I learned about Atomic Habits, which I never used to do, was if I wasn't able to put my 45 minutes, I would say I'm not going to do it. But Atomic Habits, that book has taught me that even if I've got 20 minutes, let me go and do what I need to do in 20 minutes and 30 minutes and that kind. And as a result, my consistency has just gone up. I'm up at 4:30 a.m. almost every day. Monday to Friday, I do work out and that kind of stuff. So what's your routine like?
I'm up at 4 in the morning.
Wow.
That's when I start my cardio, when I'm at home. So I just do your normal, your skipping, your running, a bit of abs. It's Monday to Friday.
Wow.
Yeah, that's me, 4 a.m. Then from there, once I get to work, in terms of the gym, I also do a workout in the morning.
Yeah.
So probably around 9, that's when I do weights. Now they're swimming. So which has to be incorporated.
The swimming works the whole body, doesn't it?
It works the whole body.
Yeah.
Throughout my training years, I've had quite a number of injuries. Lower back, hip, shoulders, and whatnot. But I'm finding that when I'm swimming, it actually soothes everything.
Absolutely.
Yeah. By the time I finish swimming, I'm all right.
You're feeling better.
Yeah, I'm feeling better. So it's an addiction in terms of my training.
Yeah.
And I always call it, that's the best addiction.
Absolutely.
If I don't take time to exercise, I feel like I'm lacking. Something is missing.
It messes up my day.
It does.
Messes up my day.
So you really have to get into it.
Yeah. Let's get on to books now. I know you love reading. What books would you recommend to our book-loving audience out there?
You know what? Being honest, Trevor.
Yeah.
Books, sometimes I just browse through.
It's good to tell the truth. So,
my wife is the reader.
Book reader,
is the reader.
Okay.
But you talk about Atomic
Habits.
Yeah. I got it, my wife brought it in, and
I
browsed through it. So I'm a browser.
Yeah. Okay.
But one of the things which I've said to myself is I need to get to that space where I need to start reading more. Get a book, really go through it, finish it.
I hope you get to that, because it's a beautiful habit. Just like gym, reading feeds your mind.
It does.
You're developing your mental strength, and you're opening doors in your mind which you wouldn't ordinarily open. Yeah.
Very true. It just gets you to those places,
Yeah.
and gives you that oomph.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I am going to get there.
That's good.
Just like swimming.
Right.
Because swimming, I'd say to myself, you would not catch me in the water, except when I'm bathing.
Most black men don't want to swim. They're scared of water.
No. Yeah. But now,
Yeah.
it's now a habit that I have to go for swimming.
So are you making this commitment in front of everybody there that you start reading?
It is a commitment.
It is a commitment.
Yeah, it is a commitment. I need to do it.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Henry, I love the work you do. Really
Thank you,
love the
Trevor.
work you do. The space that you are in, sons and fathers getting together to talk, exercising our health, eating well and that kind of stuff. Those are very important things. So keep doing what you're doing.
Thank you, Trevor.
Societies are built by building families, and the relationship between father and son is an important part
It
of that
is
foundation.
very important.
So thank you so much.
And thank you for having me, and thank you for coming to our conference. It as I said, it was amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, you have really helped us to make a difference.
Thank you. Thank you, Henry. Allow me to tend to our viewers now who are all over the world to say thank you so much for your support. We've just hit 6.5 million views and 44,000 subscribers. Keep on subscribing, like, and share. Remember, we are a weekly show. We're out 7 a.m. on YouTube, Central African Time. By the way, we're now huge on TikTok. Our TikTok audience is growing, actually bigger than YouTube. Thank you for your support. We've built a website for you. Go to the website where all our conversations sit for your listening pleasure. We've got podcasts there for your listening pleasure, viewing and listening pleasure. Thank you for your support. We love the comments below the videos. Keep on sharing them. We love the suggestions that you make as to who should be on this show. Until next time, cheers to you all.